spy on Dodi and Diana during their trip by bugging their phones, all the satellites, know where they are, find everywhere, every step.
For years, Princess Diana's life was shrouded in mystery, her story woven with intrigue, heartbreak, and unanswered questions. The world knew her as the people's princess, a woman who embodied grace and compassion. Yet behind the radiant smiles lay a life of profound complexity. Now, at the age of 66, her former butler, Paul Burell, has stepped forward to address the rumors that have persisted for decades, offering an emotional and deeply personal account that has left many stunned. This is not just another royal revelation. It's a tale of trust, devotion, and raw honesty. As he breaks down in tears, Burell uncovers secrets he's carried for years, secrets he once vowed to keep but now feels compelled to share. His story pulls back the curtain on Diana's most intimate struggles, her hidden battles, and the bond they shared, one that transcended the boundaries of employer and employee. In this heart-wrenching revelation, Burell confirms the whispers that have lingered since Diana's tragic passing, weaving a narrative of loyalty and loss that will change the way the world remembers her. What was it like to be Diana's confidant during her darkest hours? And what truths have been buried for far too long? These are the questions that Burell's revelations finally answer. Prepare to step into the world of Princess Diana as seen through the eyes of the man who knew her best. Who is Paul Burell? Paul Burell was more than just a butler. To Princess Diana, he was her rock, her confidant, and the one person she trusted with her deepest fears and secrets. Their bond transcended the formal boundaries of royal service, evolving into a profound friendship built on loyalty and mutual respect. But who exactly is Paul Burell, and how did he become so intricately woven into the life of one of the most beloved figures in modern history? Born in Derbyshire, England in 1958, Paul Burell grew up far from the glitz and glamour of the royal world. His humble beginnings were a stark contrast to the opulent surroundings he would later navigate daily. Burell's journey into royal service began at the age of 18, when he joined Buckingham Palace as a footman. His dedication and impeccable work ethic quickly set him apart, and he eventually rose to become the personal butler to Queen Elizabeth II. However, it was his transfer to Kensington Palace in 1987 that would change his life forever. At Kensington Palace, Burell became the personal butler to Princess Diana. The two quickly developed a close bond, one that extended far beyond the professional. Diana often referred to Burell as her rock, a testament to the deep trust and reliance she placed in him. He was there during her most challenging times, providing not only practical support but also a shoulder to lean on when the pressures of royal life became overwhelming. Burell's role in Diana's life was multifaceted. He managed her day-to-day activities, coordinated her official engagements, and ensured her household ran smoothly. Yet his responsibilities extended beyond the typical duties of a butler. He became a silent witness to her private struggles, from her battles with bulimia to the heartache of a failing marriage. She needed someone she could trust, someone who wouldn't judge her, Burell later revealed, and Diana found that in him. Their relationship was characterized by an unspoken understanding, a shared camaraderie that allowed Diana to confide in him without fear of betrayal. Through the years, Burell's role evolved into that of a confidant and ally. He was privy to her hopes and dreams, as well as her fears and insecurities. He helped her draft letters, organize her wardrobe, and even plan her humanitarian trips. But more importantly, he offered her emotional support during the most turbulent periods of her life. One of the most notable aspects of their relationship was Burell's unwavering loyalty. In a world where the royal family's inner workings were often subject to leaks and tabloid scrutiny, Burell remained steadfast in his commitment to Diana's privacy. He shielded her from prying eyes, ensuring that her personal struggles remained out of the public domain, at least during her lifetime. Burell's dedication to Diana was evident even after her untimely death in 1997. He became a vocal advocate for preserving her legacy, often speaking publicly about her humanitarian work and the challenges she faced as a royal. However, his decision to write a memoir, A Royal Duty, in 2003, sparked controversy, with critics accusing him of profiting from Diana's memory. Burell defended his actions, insisting that his book was an attempt to set the record straight and provide an authentic account of Diana's life from someone who knew her intimately. Over the years, Burell has faced his share of criticism and legal battles. In 2002, he was accused of stealing items belonging to Diana, but the case was dropped after Queen Elizabeth intervened, acknowledging that Burell had been given the items for safekeeping. The incident further highlighted the complexity of his relationship with the royal family and the lasting impact of his service to Diana. Today, Paul Burell's name is synonymous with Princess Diana's story. While opinions about him may vary, there's no denying the significant role he played in her life. He was more than a witness to history. He was an active participant in the private moments that shaped one of the most iconic figures of the 20th century. As he reflects on his time with Diana, Burell often speaks of the lessons he learned from her, lessons about compassion, resilience, and the importance of staying true to oneself. "She taught me to see the world differently," he once said, "to look beyond the surface and understand the struggles that others might be facing." Burell's revelations about Diana offer a unique perspective on her life, one that goes beyond the public persona of the people's princess. Through his eyes, we see a woman who was deeply human, grappling with challenges that many can relate to despite her extraordinary circumstances. His insights provide a window into the emotional depth of Diana's character, highlighting her vulnerability as well as her strength. In the end, Paul Burell's story is inseparable from Diana's legacy. Whether viewed as a loyal friend or a controversial figure, his connection to her remains undeniable. As he continues to share his experiences, Burell ensures that the world remembers not just the princess, but also the woman behind the crown, a woman who found solace and trust in the presence of her devoted butler. The rumors over the years. For decades, Princess Diana's life has been shrouded in mystery, her legacy woven with whispers of secrets and rumors that captivated the world. Even in her absence, her name sparks intrigue, fascination, and a persistent sense of wonder about the untold truths of her time as a royal and beyond. From the moment she entered the spotlight as the shy kindergarten teacher engaged to Prince Charles, the public's obsession with Diana only grew. She was adored for her beauty, charm, and compassion, but behind the scenes, darker whispers painted a far more complex picture. One of the most enduring rumors revolves around Diana's relationship with the royal family. While she was often pictured smiling at royal events, insiders hinted at her struggle to fit into the rigid expectations of her role. Diana herself gave credibility to these rumors in her infamous 1995 BBC Panorama interview, where she candidly spoke about feeling unsupported and alienated. "There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded," she famously said, referring to Charles's long-standing affair with Camilla Parker Bowles. But was that the only source of her isolation? Some speculated that Diana's modern, compassionate approach to royal duties clashed with the traditional values of the monarchy, leaving her feeling like an outsider. Rumors persisted that her mental health struggles, including her battle with bulimia and depression, were met with indifference by the royal institution. These stories only deepened public sympathy for Diana, painting her as a lonely figure battling a system unwilling to bend. Another chilling rumor that has haunted Diana's legacy is whether she foresaw her untimely death. Shortly after her passing in a tragic car accident in Paris in 1997, letters and reports emerged suggesting that Diana believed she was in danger. In one now infamous note reportedly written in 1995, Diana allegedly claimed that efforts were being made to stage an accident in my car to make the path clear for Charles to marry. While skeptics dismissed these claims as the musings of a paranoid mind, others saw them as evidence of a sinister plot. The circumstances surrounding her death have been the subject of countless conspiracy theories, from allegations of a royal cover-up to questions about the role of the paparazzi in her final moments. Was Diana's fear based on real threats, or were they the result of the immense pressure and scrutiny she endured? Beyond her struggles with the royal family and her tragic end, Diana's life was filled with unanswered questions. Many have speculated about her romantic relationships, particularly in the years following her separation from Prince Charles. Her alleged love affair with Dodi Fayed, with whom she spent her final days, has been scrutinized endlessly. Was it a whirlwind romance, or was there more to their connection? Moreover, Diana's humanitarian efforts often overshadowed her personal struggles. Her groundbreaking work to raise awareness about AIDS and her campaign to ban landmines showcased her fearless dedication to causes close to her heart. But some wondered, did her growing influence and global popularity threaten the royal establishment? Was she too powerful for her own good? Diana's ability to captivate the world even after her death has kept these rumors alive. Each new documentary, book, or interview brings with it a fresh wave of speculation, further entrenching her as an enigmatic figure whose true story might never fully be known. Burls Perspective. Amid this storm of speculation, there was one man who knew Diana better than most: Paul Burell, her loyal butler and confidant. For years, Burell stood by her side, witnessing her struggles, triumphs, and moments of vulnerability. He was her rock, her trusted ally in a world that often felt cold and unyielding. And for years, Paul Burell remained silent, guarding her secrets, until now. As Burell reaches his twilight years, he has begun to open up about the time he spent with the people's princess. His revelations provide a unique and deeply personal perspective on the rumors that have surrounded Diana for decades. From the whispers of her isolation to the ominous forewarnings of her tragic end, Burell's insights offer a glimpse into the life of a woman whose story is far more complex than the world could have ever imagined. What secrets does Burell hold? How do they challenge or confirm the long-standing rumors about Diana? His tearful confessions, decades after her passing, promise to shed light on the questions that have lingered for so long. Stay tuned as we delve into the truths unveiled by the man who was closer to Diana than anyone else, uncovering a story that continues to captivate hearts and minds around the globe. The emotional confession. In a recent and deeply emotional interview, Paul Burell, Princess Diana's former butler and trusted confidant, laid bare his heart as he recounted memories of the late princess that continue to haunt him. As tears streamed down his face, Burell revealed stories that confirmed long-standing suspicions about Diana's life behind the palace walls. His confession, raw and unfiltered, provided a rare glimpse into the private pain of one of the world's most beloved figures, a woman who seemed to have it all but carried a heavy burden until her tragic end. One of the most poignant moments in Burell's confession was his account of Diana's profound loneliness. Despite the adoration of millions around the world, Diana often felt completely isolated within the royal family. Burell described the princess as a vibrant, caring woman whose warmth was often met with indifference by those around her. She used to sit in her Kensington Palace apartment sometimes for hours just staring out the window, Burell recounted, his voice trembling with emotion. She would say to me, "Paul, why does no one hear me? Why does no one see me?" She was surrounded by grandeur but felt utterly invisible. Burell shared that Diana's loneliness was exacerbated by her strained relationships within the royal household. The cold, formal environment of the palace was at odds with Diana's nurturing and emotionally expressive nature. She found solace in the kindness of her staff, particularly Burell, who often acted as her confidant and sounding board. "She would tell me things she couldn't tell anyone else," Burell said. Her struggles, her fears, they were all bottled up inside her. Another deeply emotional aspect of Burell's confession centered on Diana's fears for her two sons, Prince William and Prince Harry. As a devoted mother, Diana's primary concern was always their well-being. Burell revealed that she often worried about the pressures they would face as members of the royal family and the toll it might take on their happiness. "She told me once, Paul, "I want my boys to have a normal life, as normal as it can be," Burl shared. She was terrified that they would grow up feeling the same loneliness and isolation she did. Burl also recalled moments when Diana would talk about shielding her sons from the media frenzy that constantly surrounded her. She was acutely aware of the scrutiny they were under and went to great lengths to protect them, whether by taking them on secret outings or ensuring they experienced life outside the royal bubble. But it wasn't just the media that concerned her. Diana worried about the influences within the royal family and their impact on her boys. Burell admitted that these fears often kept her up at night. She would say, "Paul, promise me you'll always look after them if anything happens to me." That broke my heart because I could see the fear in her eyes. Burrell's revelation also delved into the struggles Diana faced against forces beyond her control. He spoke candidly about the pressures of the monarchy, the relentless media intrusion, and the challenges of navigating a world where her every move was scrutinized. She felt like she was fighting a battle on all fronts, Burell said. There were the royal protocols, the constant attention from the press, and the inner turmoil she faced with her personal relationships. It was overwhelming. He recounted moments when Diana would confide in him about feeling trapped and powerless. Her humanitarian work, which brought her so much joy and fulfillment, was often overshadowed by controversies and speculation about her private life. Burell described how she struggled to balance her desire to make a difference in the world with the limitations imposed on her as a member of the royal family. Diana wanted to be a voice for the voiceless, but she often felt silenced herself, Burell said. It's heartbreaking to think about how much she wanted to give and how much she was held back. Perhaps the most haunting aspect of Burell's confession was his confirmation of a chilling premonition Diana had shared with him. According to Burell, Diana was deeply aware of the risks she faced, and at times it seemed as though she foresaw her own tragic end. She told me, "Paul, I don't think I'll be here much longer. I feel like something is going to happen," Burell revealed, his voice breaking with emotion. It was as if she knew her life would be cut short. Burell recounted how Diana had expressed fears about being in danger, not just from the relentless paparazzi, but also from forces within her own circle. She confided in him about feeling targeted and paranoid, questioning whether she could trust those closest to her. These fears were compounded by the intense scrutiny she faced after her separation from Prince Charles and her subsequent romantic relationships. She once told me, "If something happens to me, Paul, make sure the world knows the truth," Burell said. Those words have stayed with me every single day. Burrell's tearful revelation not only confirmed what many had suspected, but also highlighted the immense pressure Diana faced throughout her life. His account painted a picture of a woman who, despite her grace and strength, carried an unimaginable burden. For Burell, sharing these memories was not just about unburdening himself, but also honoring Diana's legacy. "I've held these secrets for so long because I wanted to protect her," Burell said. "But now, I feel it's time for the world to understand the truth about the incredible woman she was." As Burell wiped away his tears, the weight of his words was palpable. His confession served as a poignant reminder of the human side of a woman often seen as a symbol. One who lived, loved, and struggled like anyone else but under the harshest of spotlights. Through his emotional account, Burell not only confirmed the rumors that have surrounded Diana for years, but also reaffirmed her enduring legacy as a woman who sought love, compassion, and understanding in a world that often failed to give it to her. The weight of loyalty. Paul Burell, Princess Diana's loyal butler and confidant, has often described his relationship with her as one of profound trust and devotion. For decades, he carried her secrets, guarding them as fiercely as if they were his own. But the weight of loyalty is a heavy burden to bear, and Burell has wrestled with the complexity of honoring Diana's memory while feeling an undeniable obligation to share the truth with the world. "For years I wrestled with this," Burell admitted in a recent interview. "I made a promise to her, and I kept it for as long as I could. But as time has passed, I've come to realize that her story, the truth, deserves to be told." Burls' unwavering loyalty to Diana began long before her tragic death. As her butler, he was not merely an employee, he became a trusted confidant, a shoulder to cry on, and a witness to the joys and sorrows of her life. Diana often referred to him as her rock, and he considered it his duty to protect her, not just physically but emotionally as well. "She trusted me with everything," Burell said, "her fears, her dreams, her struggles, and I promised her I would never betray that trust." For years after her passing, Burell remained steadfast in his silence, even as public interest in Diana's life continued to grow. He turned down countless opportunities to share what he knew, choosing instead to preserve her dignity and keep her confidences intact. But as time wore on, the burden of carrying so much began to weigh heavily on him. Carrying Diana's secrets was not without its emotional toll. Burell described feeling torn between his sense of duty to her and his own need for closure. The memories of their conversations, her struggles, and her pleas for understanding lingered in his mind, creating a constant inner conflict. "There were nights when I couldn't sleep," he confessed. "I would hear her voice in my head reminding me of the things she told me in confidence. It's a heavy thing to hold someone's pain and not be able to share it." The public's fascination with Diana only added to Burell's struggle. Every new documentary, book, or interview about her life brought fresh speculation and sometimes even misinformation. Burell admitted that it was difficult to watch as her story was often misrepresented or reduced to sensational headlines. "I wanted to correct the record so many times," he said. "But then I would think about the promise I made to her, and I would stay silent. It was a constant battle within myself." Over time, however, Burell began to feel that his silence might be doing more harm than good. As the years passed and Diana's sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, grew into adulthood, Burell believed it was important to provide a fuller, more accurate picture of the woman their mother truly was. "She was a remarkable person, and her story is so much more than the headlines," Burell said. "I realized that by sharing what I know, I could help the world understand her better, the struggles she faced, the strength she showed, and the legacy she left behind." This realization did not come easily. Burell agonized over the decision to speak out, fearing that it might be seen as a betrayal of Diana's trust. But he also felt that keeping her story locked away forever would be an even greater disservice to her memory. "I still feel her presence," he said, his voice breaking, "and I think she would want the world to know the truth. Not the rumors or the speculation, but the real Diana." Speaking out has come at a personal cost for Burell. His decision to share his experiences has been met with both praise and criticism, with some accusing him of exploiting his connection to Diana. Burell has acknowledged these criticisms but insists that his motivations are rooted in love and respect for the princess. "I didn't do this for fame or fortune," he said. "I did it because I loved her, and I want to honor her memory. If sharing her story helps even one person understand her better, then it's worth it." Burell also admitted that the act of opening up has been cathartic for him. For years he carried the weight of Diana's struggles alone, unable to share them even with those closest to him. Speaking out has allowed him to unburden himself while ensuring that Diana's legacy is preserved in a way that reflects her true self. "It's been a relief in some ways," he said. "I've carried these memories for so long, and now I feel like I can finally let go of some of that weight." As Burell reflects on his journey, he remains deeply committed to honoring Diana's legacy. He hopes that by sharing his insights, he can contribute to a more nuanced understanding of the woman behind the public persona, a woman who was not only a princess but also a mother, a humanitarian, and a friend. "Loyalty isn't just about keeping secrets," he said. "It's about doing what's right for the person you love, even when it's difficult." Diana deserves to be remembered for who she really was, and I hope that by telling her story, I can help ensure that happens. Burell's emotional confession is a testament to the complexity of loyalty. It is not always black and white, but rather a delicate balance between honoring promises and serving a higher truth. For Paul Burell, that truth is Diana's legacy, a legacy he has devoted his life to protecting, even as he navigates the weight of loyalty that comes with it. "She was extraordinary," he said, wiping away tears, "and I'll carry her memory with me for the rest of my life." What the revelations mean. Paul Burell's emotional revelations about Princess Diana are more than just stories from the past. They offer a profound insight into the struggles of a woman who remains an icon to this day. His words, spoken with a mix of pain and reverence, cast new light on Diana's life and the challenges she faced, reminding the world of the extraordinary strength she displayed in the face of adversity. For decades, Diana's public image was that of a glamorous royal, a humanitarian, and a devoted mother. But Burell's revelations pull back the curtain on the private battles she fought behind palace doors. His accounts of her loneliness, her fears for her children, and her sense of foreboding paint a picture of a woman who, despite her status, was profoundly human. They reveal a Diana who was vulnerable yet resilient, a woman who navigated unimaginable pressures with grace and courage. Burell's words also shine a spotlight on the rigidity of the royal institution and the immense pressure it placed on Diana. His stories of her isolation and struggles to conform to royal expectations add a layer of complexity to the narrative of her life, highlighting how she sought to carve out her identity while still fulfilling her duties. These revelations challenge us to reconsider the cost of royalty and the emotional toll it takes on individuals thrust into its orbit. One of the most impactful aspects of Burell's confession is its focus on Diana's love for her children. Her fears for Prince William and Prince Harry resonate deeply, as they underscore her determination to protect them from the harsh realities of royal life. Even in her most vulnerable moments, Diana's role as a mother remained her priority, and her unwavering devotion to her sons is a testament to her strength and character. Burell's confirmation of Diana's premonition about her untimely death is perhaps the most haunting of his revelations. It adds a chilling layer of poignancy to her story, suggesting that she was acutely aware of the dangers she faced. This revelation forces us to confront the darker aspects of her life and the forces that may have contributed to her tragic end. Ultimately, Burell's revelations serve as a powerful reminder of Diana's humanity. They strip away the myth and allow us to see her as she truly was, a woman of incredible strength, compassion, and resilience. They deepen our understanding of her legacy, ensuring that her story continues to inspire generations. As people listen to Paul Burell's heartfelt revelations, they are reminded of the enduring legacy of Princess Diana. Her story resonates not only because of her royal status, but because of her humanity, her strength, and her unwavering love for her children and the causes she championed. If you found this exploration of Diana's life and Paul Burell's emotional confession compelling, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking content. Let's continue the conversation and keep Diana's legacy alive.